I'm not gonna lie, I agree with them on a business level. I think this was bad optically to say, because now it makes you sound exactly like what you've criticized. You've criticized Drake for his lawsuit. A nigga putting up a AI picture of you in a brief doesn't hold a candle to a man calling you a pedophile.
Now, everybody been talking about 50 Cent and Joe Budden going back and forth. Now, look, we got Akademiks giving Joe Budden some legal advice after Joe was talking about he might have to get his lawyers on 50 Cent. Let's check this out. Like the video and subscribe.
So it appears that, Joe has threatened legal action. And I think this is what's happening is that there's actually some precedents about AI images or sounds lawsuit. There is some lawsuits that's actually popping up actually really prominently around the music industry, where Sony Music, Universal Music Group, and Warner, they're suing AI music generation companies like Suno or whatever for copyright infringement. Joe honestly would be in the realm of being able to sue 50 Cent for not only defamation, right? But he would probably be able to sue for copyright infringement, among other things, by 50 using AI images of Joe seemingly being in very compromising positions, where these positions here could damage Joe's brand. Again, there was a time Joe was known as a dust head or whatever the case is, that he really worked so hard to get away from. Yo, if you do that, and by the way, 50 is the king of lawsuits, but if you're doing this intentionally and maliciously, like, keep in mind what Joe said about 50 can't sue about. Yo, I think you need some therapy. Whether you disagree or, I keep saying the international law of hip hop, just stay out of 50 business. Cool. But that's not a crime. You can't sue over that. You doing this where you're saying that Joe is this perverted guy, right? You have a lot of money. This is a lawsuit. Absolutely. Now, obviously, I would imagine Joe is not trying to do, because now people think if you file a lawsuit, you're like Drake. So whatever. But essentially, that's what Joe said, which then turned to 50 Cent responding again. So 50 Cent actually deleted all those images, and he actually put this up. He says Joe Budden threatens to sue 50. And this was a clip 50 put up on his Instagram. Now, I understand Joe with the payment aspect of it, because I actually definitely believe that those people are looking into his podcast. Like, what I mean? Again, I don't know how his podcast set up and what was happening, but Joe is, he's the beneficiary. I mean, I've been of like the battle with Drake and Kendrick. But at least at this point, when this type of negative attention, no matter negative or positive, yeah, my boy got a Patreon. My boy got, you got all type of stuff, prize picks, whatever. His money's going up. So I think he's like, yo, if I feel it's hurting my bottom line, I'm going to sue. I'm not going to lie. I agree with him on a business level. I think this was bad optically to say. Feel it's hurting negative or positive. Yeah, my boy got a Patreon. My boy got, you got all type of stuff, prize picks, whatever. His money's going up. So I think he's like, yo, if I feel it's hurting my bottom line, I'm going to sue. I'm not going to lie. I agree with him on a business level. I think this was bad optically to say, because now it makes you sound exactly like what you've criticized. You've criticized Drake for his lawsuit. A nigga putting up a AI picture of you in a brief doesn't hold a candle to a man calling you a pedophile. Like, that is a very hurtful thing that any man with integrity would want to be the furthest from that, and would probably crash out over that shit. So a lawsuit is the very least. So it's just to hear that being said, and then not understanding, and I got a counter critique to it, so I'm gonna argue with myself a second. Not understand why Drake might file a lawsuit. It's kind of like, preposterous. However, his response, and I'm making up his response in my head. Drake suing Universal. Yeah, I think that's bullshit. I think he should have sued Kendrick. Kendrick's the one who said it. Kendrick is calling you a pedophile. Sue Kendrick. Feel what I'm saying? So I get that, but there is a lawsuit with Drake too, right? A nigga calling you a pedophile is a million times worse than a nigga putting an AI picture of you in your briefs, right? And if you would threaten a lawsuit for somebody doing that, why couldn't somebody threaten a lawsuit for somebody who's calling him a pedophile? Now, if you're saying that, oh, okay, Drake's lawsuit is valid, he just should sue the right person, I could get down with that. Because I think Universal will put out anything. They'll put out music making fun of people that's dead. They've made music that have capitalized off the hurt pain of other people. So trying to have them have a moral high ground at that point is crazy. But to sue the person who is calling you the name, which is Kendrick Lamar, yeah, I personally think Kendrick should have been sued by Drake. But I think Drake is doing like a really interesting thing where he's trying to keep it hip hop by not suing him. But I think that's why he's gonna lose. Sue the man who called you a pedophile, not the company who put it out. Because that company is gonna come back with, well, we've put out you saying that he beat his wife, and we don't know about if that's true. We're just a distributor. We're not the person who is an arbiter of truth. Sue the person who said it. Anyway, so 50 posted a caption. He said, yo, so that's the plan? You gonna sue me, Joe? Ha ha ha. I think you're mistaking me for someone else. I'm gonna get a face-to-face with you so you can tell me about the therapy I need. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I seen this, I'm like, their beef seems a little bit deeper than what we might know. Because 50, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's looked like Joe didn't want no smoke with 50. Looked like Joe he gave an opinion. I get it, maybe he should stay out of his business, but like, he's covering topics, he runs a podcast. 50 didn't appreciate it, and 50 actually said, nigga, stop talking about me. Stop. Like, 50 is not laughing with Joe. And there's been many people with platforms, and I get it, Joe has an incredibly huge platform, but I've spoken about 50 in a way that maybe he wouldn't like. I don't think 50 is going after every single person that's spoken about him. I think 50 has something with Joe, honestly. Where maybe he was, kind of teetering on that line, and this was the thing to say, stop fucking playing with me, nigga. Because not everyone just sucks Drake, not Drake, 50's dick and just be like, oh no, he's the greatest. No, people criticize him. But to see him give this response to Joe means that there might have been a few warning shots before or a conversation before where he told Joe, stop fucking talking about me like that, my nigga. Which I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think Joe has told us that. But, there's one realm you could think, oh no, Joe got the biggest platform in the world and he only sees what Joe says. No, I think a lot of people with platforms that's either as big as Joe or close to it have spoken about 50. And spoken about 50 and said, nah, 50's wild and you need to chill. Y'all nigga 50's wild. He's a nut. But also it might goes into another realm. 50 might be like, you know what? I don't know them niggas. I know you, nigga. You not supposed to speak about me, which, by the way, becomes a habitual thing that when you're a former artist having a podcast, you're always going to run into, where people feel like, yo, if other people say it about me and I don't know them, they could say it, but I know you can't say it. Or you were an artist just like me, you can't say that shit. So I don't know. We will see what comes out of this, but 50 was not impressed by this.
All right, now I do think Joe Budden got a strong case, like Akademiks said. It could be like Jay-Z, he's deciding to countersue after his situation with Tony Busby and the fake allegations, right? Lost wages. You're hurting my business. I think Joe could say all of that about these AI pictures that 50 Cent is posting. I think he would have a decent case. And like Ak said, it's multiple cases right now dealing with AI. Now, I personally always say 50 Cent is too old to be conducting himself like this. Too petty, too weird. You know what? If Drake was posting AI pictures of Kendrick Lamar with no clothes on. Y'all would be calling Drake all type of zesty. 50 Cent do it and y'all giggling and laughing. Instead of saying, why is a grown man posting naked pictures of another grown man? Better yet, why is another grown man saving them naked Joe Budden pictures to his phone and then posting it on Instagram? But y'all think it's all fun and games. Never beef with 50 Cent. Because he might Google some AI pictures of you and save them to his phone. Don't forget, some AI pictures of Joe Budden in some tidy whities. And he might save those pictures and look at them and post them to his Instagram. But that's not weird to y'all. And right now, 50 beefing with like 3 or 4 people. He beefing with Lil Meech, Big Meech, the reporter, Megan Cunoff, because she made some bet with him about A$AP Rocky's case. And now he beefing with Joe. It just looked like 50 Cent at home, bored, with his stomach on the bed, with his feet dangling in the air, laughing and giggling while he posts stuff on the internet. But y'all think it's cool because 50 like to beef with people online. Okay. Now, I also agree with Ak when he says Joe can't be talking about suing when he's been so hard on Drake and his lawsuit. Now, also, I want y'all to see that narrative that the Drake fans are putting out there, which is, you know, the craziest thing you can say about a man is calling him a pedophile, right? And I think that's why a lot of these people are defending Drake's lawsuit. But y'all know I'm not really with the lawsuit. I don't feel like it should be any rules placed on a rap battle. I feel like when you enter the arena for a rap battle, all the gloves are off. But that's just me. But also, I think Drake is tired of that because remember when he did that interview with LeBron and he was so upset about the stuff Pusha T was talking about. And I'm like, well, I guess if he could go back, he would sue Pusha T too. He might have a Pusha T lawsuit in the works, talking about how when he told the world about his son, he ruined some money and stopped some contracts. You know, Drake was supposed to have a contract with Adidas back then. And then Pusha T ruined it with the story of Adidon, if y'all don't remember. But I don't think Joe can now be talking about, oh, I want to sue after you were so hard on Drake for suing. But I don't think Joe wants to sue because, like Axe said, everybody is like, well, if you sue, you soft like Drake. But I also think it's just a certain type of people in society that have that mindset of, you know, like, you got these street rules that you want to abide by, whether it's, you know, some street stuff or hip hop stuff. I don't think we can expect everybody to live by those rules either. Now, also, has it looked like Joe didn't want any smoke with 50? I don't know. I think Joe is getting a lot of money now. And I think Joe is really comfortable in his situation, his life, his business. And I honestly think that's another reason why he's mentioning lawyers, because I think he's at a point where he's not going to be wilding out no more like he used to, right? We not going to get the views from the 6 review when he got the tank top on and he's screaming, looking like he off the pills and stuff like that. I don't think we going to get that Joe anymore because he's too rich and he's just casually wearing $10,000, $20,000 Louis Vuitton outfits on the podcast. If y'all don't know, Joe is spending a lot of money on his wardrobe. I know because, you know, allegedly somebody in my staff, it's not me, but they shop in them same stores. Not me. I don't get money like that, okay? But yeah, I think Joe is comfortable. So I don't know if he really want too much smoke. And does it seem personal? That's the last thing I'm gonna speak on. I don't know. I can see Joe and 50 Cent, mingling around in the same circles. When it comes to New York and Jersey and just East Coast rappers in New York, I'm sure they all know each other. I'm sure they all bump heads once in a while. So it might be some personal stuff going on. And maybe 50 Cent will let us know if it is. But I can see it. I can see it. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this situation. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.